My name is Milena. I'm 16 years old. I'm a junior in high school, and this is my very first time as a mentee and doing this, so I'm a little nervous. The title of my piece is called Summer 2014. I spent most of the summer of 2014 in Ecuador crying. At the age of 14, I realized my mother was slowly separating from our family, leaving me alone to be with her boyfriend and my little brother, their son. Years prior, my mom and I had moved from Queens to Ecuador to live with her boyfriend. He'd forced me to call him dad, and I began to recognize him as dad. When he was annoyed, he'd hit me or pull my ears. It was never for anything bad, it was for doing things little kids do. He'd get drunk and argue with my mom and disrespect her. This lasted until my aunts found out and took us back to New York. For 7 years, my mom and her boyfriend didn't speak until randomly during that summer they got back together and the toxic cycle began again. He used our different lifestyles against us. He was rich, my mom was not. If I stayed in New York, I live in an old apartment and I'd share a room. In Ecuador, I live in a mansion-like house. I'd have my own room. You'll go to the best private school and you can bring friends over for parties, he'd say. He offered to take us to exotic places I hadn't been to, places he knew I wanted to go. I was being forced to be part of a fake family. Summer was ending, he was begging us to stay, and the date of our flight back to New York was approaching. A week before our flight, I texted my aunt, "Tía, por favor, no me deje, ayúdeme. Tía, please don't leave me, help me." I was so afraid. I felt as if I was betraying my mom and all she had done as a single parent. But my happiness and well-being were important too. My relationship with my mother was fading away. We barely talked, and when we did, she burst out in tears. But still, nothing changed my mind. My mother agreed to make my aunt my legal guardian. When she signed the custody papers, she didn't even look at me. In the end, I left Ecuador without my mother. When I hugged her goodbye, I didn't want to let go. I had never been separated from her, and this was my decision. I traveled back to my not-so-much home with my heart divided, but my mind secure in my decision to follow my dreams and forge a path to success in America. I adapted to my new home, focused on school, and kept myself active to prove to myself and my mother that I could do well even when she wasn't around. Whenever I visited my grandparents, I'd go into my old room and realize how empty it looked without my brother running around. Once, I opened their closet still filled with their clothes and grabbed my brother's green shirt and started crying like I've never cried in my entire life. I pressed it against my face and yelled, "I miss you so much, Derek, I want my mom." Months later, my mom's relationship ended and she returned to New York with my brother. The 4 months without her were not easy, but I was right after all. I earned her respect for she realized that I had made a wise decision. Now, when I want to try something new, she considers my opinion. Through it all, I learned that I won't settle for anything less than I deserve, or anything that will hinder me from moving forward. I can persevere when things get difficult, and I have a good sense of self. I will always stand up for what is right, even if I have to stand on my own.